Hi everyone, this is Killshot 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 11. This is the final season-ending debate. We got a lot of stuff to talk about over the next couple years because it is not ending anytime soon. I think that's the immediate shock factor to everybody is, oh my God, we're losing The Walking Dead. No, we've got plenty of episodes, like 30-something episodes still to go. It's going to last us over the next couple of years. I mean, this is the earliest we're not doing any more than I've ever seen in my life. And on top of that, we got Spinoff City happening for you guys. So I think we're going to be going strong for a long time. Before we get too far into tonight's stream, let me first of all give a super special shout out to our Patreon army, our members, our sponsors, our moderators. I know it's been a long time since The Walking Dead was on the horizon, but my sincere gratitude for all of you guys that have been members through the whole season. Even though we haven't done a lot of Walking Dead stuff, we've still been doing a great amount of content. So let's jump into, got to put a picture of Daryl and Carol up on the screen because, you know, it's a knee-jerk reaction. So this is what's out there. We've got October 4th. We've got Fear the Walking Dead. We've got The World Beyond. 10 episodes next season is what I've heard. I heard 6 and I heard 10. But regardless, let's say 6 bonus episodes. I'm good with either one. But there's 2 conflicting stories out there. And then 24 episodes. So we're still good for 30 episodes. And it looks like there's going to be, the latest article I read said bonus 10 next season and then starting season 11 at the end of next year, and that would span over 2 years. So the final season 11 is going to be 24 episodes over 2 years. So it's going to be 2021 and 2022. And then after 2022, we've got the Daryl and Carol show, which is going to be 2023. And who knows how many other spinoffs. So please don't think that we're losing The Walking Dead. And all of a sudden I see just all of these theories and predictions. We'll get into them in a second. I see Eric Beach says, good evening, Army. We are changing gears. We are. I'm excited about a lot of things. You guys can you guys see the excitement or hear the excitement in voice? You can't see it. But I'm excited about The Walking Dead. Absolutely in love with our game Play Dead Live. We have a blast together. I'm excited about Fear the Walking Dead for the 5th time. Now that's a balloon that could easily get popped, and I could be unexcited very, very quickly. And we know that we got a 2-year deal with The World Beyond. So we've got content. We got things to talk about. Interesting stories. Now the first thing that I want to do is I just want to, I want to be kind of the deflator. Because The Walking Dead is not going to be saved. So for those that immediately think that Rick is on the horizon, there is no need to bring Rick back. It's ending. Jerry wants to know, in bold print, will this channel still be up and running after The Walking Dead? You know, Jerry, why don't we ask all the viewers that? What do you guys think? Will 999 Gaming still be around after The Walking Dead? Are we joined at the hip? Are we connected? You know, Jerry, I would say this. That's up to the viewers. People watch, people play, people hang out, then absolutely, I think so. I see Tom Bug Ferreira in the house. Do you think they will introduce Sebastian as the final villain of the series? Tom, I don't know. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to talk about the Whispers a little bit, maybe. But we'll talk about some villains. So, look, our world just kind of went a little crazy because the comics ended. And once the comics ended, now the show's making profits out of some people that predicted it was going to end. And that's fine. If you predict 1,000 things, eventually you'll get it right. I mean, I could have said Walking Dead's going to end in season 10, season 11, season 12, season 13, 14. Eventually you're going to get it right. Now, in fairness, a lot of those people said season 13. So now they're going to take credit and say, we told you it was ending in season 11. No. I saw people predicting season 12, season 13, not season 11. This was, I think, a shock to a lot of people. But, I mean, season 11 is a lot. So, I'm going to tell you why I don't think The Walking Dead needs saving. Because once you make that announcement, people are going to tune in. You don't need to tune in. I love Rick. You guys know I love Rick. But they are still doing 3 movies. They got the scripts at Universal. They're doing 3 movies. So, do they need to bring Rick back to pump ratings when we already know that we're going to be watching? No, I don't think so. I think it's wishful thinking, but I don't think it's necessary. I see Ecom in the house. What's up, man? Hey, Army, the main show may be ending, but the franchise certainly isn't. Be ready for some good old 999 theories. Well, I'm not going to disagree with you, because I think, I'm going to throw some out there today. They're not going to be who's going to show up, but we're going to get into some of the serious death theories and some things that kind of, I think, make sense now that we know that there's an ending in sight. I see Fluff in the house. I must have gone for a while. Bug just super chatted a serious question. You know what, Fluff? Tom has been adding some serious content lately. I mean, the last couple streams, it wasn't about Godzilla movies. It was actually about Walking Dead questions. I've been keeping an eye on him. E-Beach kills. What is happening with my main man, Negan? Everything tonight is going to depend. But I don't like to throw out there like, well, this. I'm going to give you bold predictions. It does now underscore, I think, the dynamic that Maggie and Negan cannot coexist. So it's so much easier to tell that story, right? Like, we were trying to make all these square pegs fit in round circle type of things, and how's it going to work? Can they get along? Are they going to make up? It's not going to make any sense. Well, now it doesn't have to make sense. You just kill them. And we can do spin-offs, or we can legit start axing fan favorite characters. And I know that's a bad thing to say, because everybody's going to say, well, let's bring them all back, or let's do a lot of spin-offs. Look, Eugene, Yumiko, Luke, Ezekiel, spin-offs. So, if Daryl and Carol are in a spin-off, wouldn't you think that Ezekiel is dead to rights? Ezekiel's gone. There's no world that Ezekiel can live in now that it's already been announced that Carol and Daryl are gone. I mean, there are some obvious things that I think that they're not even bold predictions. I think they're an absolute given. Ezekiel? No way. Can't do it. What, we going to have an Ezekiel spinoff and Carol somewhere else? No. Not going to happen. We got Ben the Tin Man. Would bringing Rick to the show at the end help or hurt the movies? I say more Rick movie success, keeping him from the show, but leading to the movie. Ben, I don't think we need a dose of Rick in order to want to see Rick. I do think at this point there's some good things going with The Walking Dead. I'm going to give you the highlights. I know I've kind of picked on a couple things. I got a couple more super chats. E-Beach says, look, we got to have a Negan spinoff. I don't know if we get a Negan spinoff or we get the Negan backstory. And you could certainly keep Jeffrey Dean Morgan around. You could pay him for a miniseries, but what my fear is, and Deadly Dime says Negan spinoff, please. Come on, guys. You're not going to watch all these spinoffs. You're grasping for straws at this point. Kills, don't tell me what I'm going to watch. I'll watch whatever hell I get it. I know. I'm just being realistic. If we make every show a spinoff, why don't we just keep the show? So it seems counterproductive to do all of these things. Like, all right, a Negan show, a Eugene show. I can't do it. I don't think they're just going to throw a whole bunch of stuff up there and see what's going to stick. But miniseries or, a few episodes here or there, special event type of things, sure. But when you start calling it a show or a series, we know Negan's story. We've seen every facet of Negan over the last 3 years. We've seen I'm going to help poor Judith. We've seen I'm going to save the dog. We've seen I'm going to betray you. We've seen I'm going to kill Alpha. I might have not killed Alpha. I can get along with Lydia. We've seen the whole story. What are you going to do in a Negan spinoff? I don't think it has legs. And I'm not going to make this about the Negan fans that just don't want to let it go. You guys have been some of the streams, and this will go on. This will be back and forth for like an hour. But I think that type of thing is disrespectful to the next show. You throw Negan out there in a spinoff, and then you've got The World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead. Now, could you cross him over? I mean, I would have rather seen cross some of these people over. If you've got something strong. For example, I've said it 1,000 times. Why not cross Simon over? Why did they not cross Simon over? Or if they would have played their cards a little bit differently, why not exile Negan and cross Negan over? Let him start over there. But at this point, you can't do anything with him. E. Beach, Negan spinoff, leadership of the Remaking Whispers. Now, Eric, here's the problem with that. And I know Diane's going to say, I love that, I love that. I don't love it. I love Eric Beach, but I don't love this, and I'm going to tell you why. Because we're 2 years away from that even happening. How can we have Negan reset and do a spinoff when we don't even know what he's going to be doing in 2023? The Whispers might even be an afterthought in 30 episodes. So we're planning for something that we don't even know who's still going to be alive. And if he leaves, then you're almost saying like, okay, then the Negan spinoff would be before the Carol and Daryl spinoff. So then we're going to have Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, The Walking Dead, Carol and Daryl in the future, a Negan spinoff, and the Rick Grimes movie. It just doesn't seem... I don't think fans are going to invest that much time to watch 6 different Walking Dead things. Ecom, I trust a Carol and Daryl spinoff in Angela Kang's hands. No comic book reference. Going to be new material. Maggie and Negan conclude season 11. I could not agree more. I think Ecom hit the nail on the head. I think Maggie will be back for a season. Now, initially I thought longer. This news changed the whole perspective. I thought Maggie would come back and help lead the franchise, but now that they're talking about Carol and Daryl, I think it spells doom for a lot of people. Now, could a few people's stories be open-ended? Maybe they go to Commonwealth, maybe, they're still around somewhere. Yes, but does that mean that everybody that doesn't die is going to be in the spinoff? I don't think so. So a couple more super chats up here. We've got Deadly Dimes. I would be extremely happy with the Negan backstory mini spinoff. I would be fine with a Negan backstory mini series, not a spinoff, which to me means you're investing in a brand new series. maybe it's semantics, maybe it's just a play on words, but, a backstory's fine. A true spinoff that has potential for future stories, I don't see it happening with Negan. What's up, Najee? Najee says, hello, Kills and Army. I think Daryl and Carol's spinoff is the show under a new name with original material. Show's only ending under the name The Walking Dead for those who say it died with Rick. So, Najee, there's a couple good points in that. One, does this have enough teeth to bring back people that left the show when Rick left? I think that's the one part that I'm interested in seeing. Can Carol and Daryl lead a franchise? That's kind of another part of it as well. But can Angela Kang drive them to lead brand new story with fresh material? Yes. And you guys know me. All right, I started the show later than normal, most people. I started the comic later. So I think, to your point, Najee, not knowing the old story, that's the part that I always enjoyed. And I think that, what's a nice way of saying this? I think our chats and our perspective has been different because of some of that lack of knowledge of, and I'll give you an example. So, back in season 6, season 7, when I really started going bold predictions and psychology of The Walking Dead, you guys probably heard it, but you may or may not know this. April of that year, call it lucky, call it whatever, I have the first documented video of anyone, before any spoiler site released it, saying that Glenn and Abraham would both die. Because the comic book fans were telling me Glenn needed to die, and I said, well, Abraham needs to die. And the more I thought, this was something I struggled with. So the more I thought about it as a person coming in late to the party, I said, you know what? They're going to kill two. Because you got to appease the comic fans, and Abraham's the big bad guy that's got to die. Now, in fairness, I did a lot of multiple scenarios to that of how Glenn would die, how Abraham would die. I didn't know the spoilers. But I thought, okay, they're going to kill Abraham and shoot Glenn. So I had a bunch of different conversations around that. But in April of that year, it was that. And I caught a lot of flack from the comic fans saying, nope, Abraham was supposed to die prior to that. He was supposed to get an arrow. In the comics, it's going to happen this way. And since they didn't kill him, he's going to be around for all-out war. Okay, that's fine. And then when we talked about Glenn, it's like, well, Glenn has to die. He has to die in this way. So when you see all of those things, Najee, to your point, is you understand that between spoilers and comic book, that a lot of times it doesn't feel fresh and new and exciting. And this is what I mean by that. To me, there's a difference between a announced spoiler 2 or 3 days before the show happens to build up a little bit of hype. Now, not a month before, and every time you turn on YouTube, there's Negan's going to die. Negan's going to die. Oh, did you see Negan's going to die? Where you can't avoid it. 2 or 3 days before, you can kind of get away from YouTube if you don't want to hear it. And that's what kind of we try to do. We love talking spoilers, but there's a time and a place for spoilers. I like them. I don't need to be totally shocked. I can be shocked 2 or 3 days before. But if I know a month or 2 or 3 months in advance, like if you tell me right now that on October 4th, Daryl's going to die, I got a whole month that's going to bother me. So I don't want to know that early. I don't want to discuss it that early, because then it's just going to be anxiety building up to it. So I think, one, Angela Kang is phenomenal. She can lead any spinoff. I respect her writing. I respect her story. I respect her partnership, her oversight. Everything she's done, I think has been phenomenal. So I am a big, big Angela Kang fan. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not a Scott Gimple fan, but I thought the show needed a different voice, a different perspective. So, can she drive a franchise with star power like Daryl and Carol? Yes. With that being said, I'm not in a good place with Carol right now. So there are some things that are strikingly obvious should be to all of us. Carol's demeanor, her psyche, her situation needs to drastically change as much as Maggie's did. Maggie went from, now Jesus, what you did, that was right. What Rick did, that was wrong. To hanging Gregory, to leaving, to coming back. Maggie went straight full circle, just like Negan. So there are 4 characters that I look at on the show that I think it went full circle. To a point of kind of obnoxious, to be perfectly honest with you. So those 4 characters are Negan, Maggie, Father G, and Carol. Those 4 characters, to me, have embodied the entire gamut of good, bad, crazy, unpredictable. All four of those have some similarities. Carol, Father G, Negan, and Maggie. Sometimes you like them, sometimes you don't, sometimes you trust them, sometimes you don't. So there's some similarities in each of those. So, can Daryl and Carol resonate with the audience the way they did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when people really wanted them to get together? If the writing is well done, and if they connect and control that story, it can. I agree. All right, who's having connection issues? Because I am perfect on my end. Yeah, I'm running no issues whatsoever. All right. It is some areas good, some areas not so good. Yeah, I apologize if you guys are getting a weird stream, but it seems like it's sporadic all throughout the country. And I see some familiar faces. Good seeing all you guys again. We've got a lot of good content to talk about. We've got a lot of not just the spinoffs, but I think the side stories and how they go about getting to the spinoffs. Donnie T on the back up. Drug-free, so put the crack up. What's up, Donnie? Good to see you guys. Appreciate all you guys kind of popping in. All right, hopefully you guys are good. I'm going to continue forward, and some people, if you're in a tough area, then definitely catch the playback. So we're going to throw bold predictions out there over the next few weeks. We're going to build up to October 4th. How many people, and give me a 999 if you are at the maximum level of excitement for October 4th. If you're not, if you're just about a 5, 6, or a 7, and you're working your way back up to it, that's okay. We're going to get you there. We're certainly going to get everybody fully charged up, fully focused. It's a season finale. But I do have to say, I'm pretty excited about Sherry and what I read about Sherry and Fear of the Wild. I already know you guys are going to be like, Kills, you do this to us every year. You get excited about Fear of the Walking Dead, and then you build up this hype, and we all get excited, and then 3 episodes in, it sucks. I know. I'm a sucker. I'm a Walking Dead sucker. But this year's going to be a little different. And I'm going to tell you why. I see E. Beach. Kills, should we get expanded? Our shows like Game of Thrones. Let me say this, and this is, I think this is a fair question. The Walking Dead content is going to be around at a minimum for 4 years. It's already booked. And then some people, like Eric said, hey, we talked about Game of Thrones. We did. And then some people are going to say, hey, we've been playing Play Dead Live for 8 months. And then others are going to say, I get it, but I'm not a gamer. And then Play Dead Live people are going to say, well, it's not really a game, it's an experience. Hang out with us a little bit. It'll wear on you. So I do want to say this, and I'm not going to make this, I don't talk Walking Dead on Play Dead Live streams and vice versa. Let me just say, though, Play Dead Live is all original content written by me. That story, those characters, the people that are here that play the game, it's not just a game, it is a story. So if you like kind of the unknown, tune in, watch a playback, hang out with us. Chime in. But in addition to that, this question is a fair question. Are we on the bootstraps of The Walking Dead? No, we're not. I mean, this channel evolved as a gaming channel and then went to Walking Dead. So those of you that have been here for a long time, you guys know I do gaming tutorials, invented a game, talk about The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. We've done Freestyle Fridays. We've done trivia. We've done comic book reads. Now, is there a show out there? See, Eric, here's the question. Anytime that gets asked, is there a show that connects people like The Walking Dead? No, there's not. If there is a show that's not a Netflix show where you can go on and watch, I would have loved to talk Witcher. But the problem is, when you can binge watch something from start to finish, there's nothing to talk about. When a show is done like The Walking Dead and you can get week to week, then it really fits into our live streams. So certainly, if there is something that connects people the way The Walking Dead connects people, absolutely we'll talk about it, we'll rally around it. But there's just nothing that connects 100% of our audience. We get some people, we've done other shows, but we'll get 20% of our audience will watch this, a few people. We can't even get 100% participation out of Fear. So if we can't get all of the Walking Dead fans to watch Fear, there's no way we're going to go watch Sons of Anarchy and we'll have 10% of our audience watch Sons of Anarchy. I mean, it's just, there's some things that we do well, there's some things that we just need to do what we do well. I don't foresee a lack of having a platform But anything's possible. I mean, the show could dry up and, maybe you guys get tired of tuning in and listening, and if that's what it is what it is. My hope is that it's not. I think we got a great group. I think we got a great family. I think we love getting together and gaming or talking about games or talking about The Walking Dead. And to that question, I appreciate it. Eric's known me for a long time. He knows I don't waffle when it comes to answers. You guys ask something, I'm going to throw it out there. Back to my semi-serious comment about Fear the Walking Dead. I think, and by think I mean partially hope, the Sherry Dwight dynamic turns into what I'd hoped for John and June. Or Wes's introduction with Alicia. I thought either Wes and Alicia, John and June, but now what I'm reading about Sherry is she is cold, hardened, transitioned. She went through all that she went through with Negan. She left. And Dwight, on the flip side, seems kind of, John Dory, right? You've got John, who is John, and you got Dwight, who is like turning into John. Neither one are screaming out, hey, let me pull out a gun and be a badass on the show. So my thought and my hope is that Sherry and Dwight are going to be that, wait for it, they're going to be that Rick and Michonne combo that Fear the Walking Dead needs. And they've never had it on Fear the Walking Dead. But that's two pretty big crossovers. I can't even say Sherry with a straight face without remembering one of the streams I did. Somebody was just going off on me. Her name's not Sherry. It's Honey. It's Honey. Her name's Honey. It's not Sherry. Because Dwight referred to her as Honey. But yeah, it's like I get these memories of the streams that we used to do. And yeah. But the transition and the crossover with the two of them, to me, I think has potential. Now, I'm still concerned that Jenny was very cheesy, that the Morgan ending was very badly done. But I've been around these streams long enough to know that sometimes we got to have a little bit of a short-term memory and give them a little bit of a break, let them come back and mold us a little bit, manipulate us a little bit, get us back into the show a little bit. And, I had a couple people who, on our fan page, if you guys don't know about our fan page, it is The Walking Dead 999 Army. But I had a couple people today post, one person post, unpopular opinion. The Walking Dead needs to end. And it just kind of struck a nerve with me. Not in a bad way, but just like, wait a minute. No, it doesn't. It doesn't need to end. Because we want to watch it. And that's not our call. It's our call to tune in or tune out. But I don't think the story needs to end. I think they need to stop being so cute. They need to stop being so cookie cut. And they need to do exactly what the hell Angela Kang is doing in taking Daryl and Dwight and developing a brand new story and challenge these writers to be creative, not corny. To be innovative and not repetitive. to bring the horror back into The Walking Dead and stop necessarily making it about who falls in love and who's in and out of love. You know, that's there. But I just don't see The Walking Dead as a weekly soap opera. And to me, I think that's what started to challenge people of the show. I know, Rick leaving. I know the lineup scene. I know there's several things that people are going to throw out there of reasons they no longer watch The Walking Dead. But people that I have talked to said they were done. It was just a dead, tired story for them. But I think that there's a lot more story you could tell. I think a lot of times we chat and we debate it right here on our channel. I think we give good scenarios of some things that The Walking Dead could do. In fact, you know what? Let's go straight off script here. What is something that you think would be super cool that you would like to see in The Walking Dead? See, I can guarantee you we have people in this stream that have already thought about it. And if we can come up with examples, the writers can too. Because these writers are good. The last, you guys may or may not agree with this, but I'm going to throw it out there. I thought the last really good Walker image Walking Dead was when they were at Hilltop and everybody started to turn, right? Remember when they were sleeping and all of a sudden it's like one person gets bit, another person gets bit, and then you just felt like The Walking Dead in that episode. And then they got into the whispers and the other story, and that wasn't bad. But to me, that's the last time I really felt like I'm afraid of the walkers. We need some of those Jaws moments, some of those shark moments, some of those, what is it, dark water, black water, some of those where your heart just kind of stops a little bit. And you know what makes those moments so good? We got June Smith. Picture this. Alexandria 2020. June, you already lost me with Rick Returns. You lost me. I'm going to picture it, though. Alexandria 2021, Rick Returns with Michonne. Grab their kitties, kill all the zombies, save our people, and walk off into the sunset. The end. Then we have no spinoffs. If we kill all the walkers, what are we going to talk about? I love the Rick fandom. June she'll never stop. She loves her some Rick. So, here's another moment that'll go down in infamy as one of the saddest moments of The Walking Dead, and yet one of the most frightening. How about Shiva? How about Shiva trapped and surrounded by walkers and saving Ezekiel? Now, I'm going to push back. Because you know what made that moment so memorable? Shiva died. If Shiva lives, that moment is not that moment. And I think, as much as I get pushback on this, The things that make you fear the walkers are when they kill our characters. But when they do it in a sudden, gory, violent possibility. Case in point. You guys remember the walker that killed Carl? Nope. I mean, you remember it, but do you really care? No. Because it wasn't drastic and gory. If Carl would have been walking and tripped and fell in a grave that you didn't know was there, and then a walker would have bit his head off, you would have respected the Carl death more that they actually had the guts to do it that way rather than he got bit, he's the reason they're ending the war, he kills himself because he doesn't want to turn. It would have been less frustrating because it would have been The Walking Dead. Deadly Dimes. What if the show actually ends with a merge other than Carol and Daryl going their own way? Dimes, I think it's a what if, but that doesn't seem to be what they're alluding to. They are saying it is going to be a bona fide spinoff yet to be named. So when I talk about challenging the writers, and hey, this is a softball right here. This is easy for them. Noah's death, I agree. Some of the biggest moments of The Walking Dead were some of the biggest deaths in The Walking Dead. And I would probably say Herschel and Glenn, even though they weren't walkers, they certainly were fearful moments and risky moments. But what I mean by we're throwing them a softball, when you know you got 2 years, well, you can be a little risky. You can play around with it a little bit. You can kill some people and not worry about the backlash. Here's The Walking Dead's challenge. They can't always do what they want to do because of all of you and me. I'm included in that group. Because what do we do? What do we say? If they really, really want to kill Daryl, what do you guys say? They really, really want to kill Michonne, what do you guys say? People say, you kill Daryl, I'm going to stop watching. You kill Carol, I'm going to stop watching. Kill Michonne, I'm going to stop watching. It makes it virtually impossible to tell a story and to get any type of reasonable data of what you could do or exactly. If you do that, we're going to stop watching. You better tell the story the way we want you to tell the story, or we're not going to watch your story. It's kind of a crappy way of going about it, to be honest. And I think, by and large, we have a little too much control over the story, which makes it lose a little bit of that creative content. If you want to be shocked, if you want to be surprised, if you want to go through those moments, don't be so demanding on what they need to do for the story. Let them tell the story. And I think they fell into that trap. And back to Najee's earlier point, Now they either have to script it based on the comic book, or they just got to do everything the fans want. And then a lot of the fans want to know, well, why is the story not creative anymore? Because you want everybody to live and have babies and fall in love, and you don't want any zombies devouring people anymore. So, the fact that they came out and made this announcement, to me says, buckle up. Creative content. Crazy stories. Bizarre death. Get people off the payroll. And then move to something new. As much as we don't always want to embrace it, and as much as there are times we want to see this reunion of Rick and Daryl and Negan and everybody, it just doesn't seem likely. Exactly. And now, Trigger, I'll say this. Alpha started out a little slow, and then she got a little bit epic, and then we just started killing a bunch of nobodies. It was like, all right, we're just going to kill the Whisperers that look at us funny. We're going to kill the Whisperer that shares his food with Negan. We're going to kill the Whisperer that cries. We're going to kill the Whisperer that recognizes Beta as a country music singer. So I'm not a big fan of these meaningless deaths. I don't think they did anything to move the story. And they didn't even show how horrific the Whisperers could be just by killing somebody that is your own, and yeah, it just didn't do anything. And the opportunities they had, like, okay, Beta breaks in. Beta could have killed Judith. He could have killed Lydia. He could have killed Rosita. Any of those three. And then we would have been talking about for months, oh my gosh, can you believe Beta drop kicked Judith through the... I know that's bad. All right, I love Judith, but I'm just thinking out loud. Like, shocking and bizarre. I know Beta's not going to drop kick Judith, but still, it would have been something we would have talked about for a long, long time. Judith can stick around. He could have drop kicked Lydia, though. I mean, Beta's a bad dude, right? Beta's supposed to be the baddest dude on the show. So, do me a favor, everybody. Type something in chat that makes you fear Beta. Like, oh my God, Beta's a bad, bad dude. He's gonna rip people up. You don't want to cross him because he will hunt you down and find you. Give me something. Daryl beat his ass and left him in an elevator shaft. That doesn't scream out he's bad. Got jealous and killed somebody that gave Negan some food. That doesn't scream out bad. I mean, stormed into Alexandria. Didn't get the job done. Nothing. Who's Beta? They need to keep Beta around for the next 6 episodes and legit have him kill like 5 people. I mean, Beta's a big enough dude. He could like pick somebody up and just rip their chest open with his bare hands. We haven't seen that yet. I mean, not like, you know, like a Spencer gutting type of death. I mean, what are you going to remember? A year from now, when we talk about Beta, I mean, at least with Alpha, it took a while to really get going. What do you guys remember most about Alpha, though? I mean, at least Negan, the governor, Joseph says the barn. What I remember most about Alpha is the border scene where she made them leave and she said, "You should have seen that blonde boy calling your name just before we took his head." I mean, that gave me cold chills all up. I mean, I could not even sleep without hearing her voice. And they felt that fear and they GTFO'd it. They're like, nope, nope, nope. Carol pulls a gun on her and has a chance to finish it right there. And everybody's, nope, no, let's get out of here. Carol, don't do that right now. And that was, after she did all the barn stuff. So you're always going to take that Alpha part. But with Beta, I'm struggling, man. I see Beta as a big oaf, a big goof that's supposed to be killing people, and you just never can seem to get the job done. Beta is to fighting and killing people what Rick Grimes was to hitting a target with a handgun. Just doesn't happen. Now, Rick finally hit the explosive device on the bridge, so maybe Beta will finally get a kill that is of something of substantial. But this was my bold prediction earlier in the year. And I'm going to stay with it. Only because I think I need it, but I could be wrong. So, as most people would have probably predicted, they think Beta's going to die in the finale. And I'll probably agree with you, but I think it's a cop-out. See, I would like to see Beta kill some people, the whispers lurking, and them really be a big, big problem for the next 6 episodes. Because there's like 10,000 walkers. So, bear with me for a second. If you are sent on a mission to kill Daryl, and you can't, you fail. If you're sent on a mission to invade Alexandria, and you don't wreak havoc and kill a lot of people, you fail. But now that the boss is dead and you've got, 10,000 walkers at your disposal, if you don't kill at least 10 people with those 10,000 walkers, you utterly fail. No joke. Any halfway intelligent person could take 100 walkers and kill 4 or 5 people. You got 10,000, and you don't know how to storm a city with 10,000, you can't find a way to make that work, you are going to go down in history as the biggest failure in not only Walking Dead history, I think he's going to go down as the biggest failure in the history of any villain on any movie, on any series in the history of the world. I don't know if there's going to be a worse villain ever. She could. I don't have a problem with Connie being there. There's an unfinished story with, and Najee, I think that's the type of thing that it's a good feel-good moment. Connie's there. Rosita may, sacrifice herself, get rid of him. But before all that happens, Beta's legacy to me, is very, very bad right now. I don't have a problem calling him out for how bad of a villain he's been. You know who's a good villain? I would say this, all right. Which villain do you think is probably responsible for more deaths on The Walking Dead? Simon. Simon probably was involved more in killing, and they didn't even show it, but you knew. And the reason they didn't show it is because they wanted Simon to be an afterthought. But Simon killed all the men of Oceanside and killed every one of Jada's people. Jada's had to walk them into a meat grinder. Demolition, whatever. It turned into a meat grinder because of Simon. So I would think that Beta should be more feared than Simon, but that's not the case. And that just goes to show you of how The Walking Dead has changed. So I am super, super looking forward to October 4th. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see the spinoffs. I think there's a brand new story out there, but I don't know that we're going to get more than a couple seasons out of Fear. You know what? We might get 2 out of Walking Dead, 2 out of Fear, 2 out of World Beyond, and then stop, hit the reset button, and really start with this Daryl and Carol story. And I'm okay with all of that. Because, let me ask you guys this question. It's kind of a would you rather type of question. Would you rather have 3 bad series of The Walking Dead or 1 really, really good one? See, that's what I think is the rationale behind why they are doing what they're doing. Quality over quantity. You have to realize at this point, Fear is not the best thing they've ever come up with. But see, Najee, here's the problem with that. If you roll out a spinoff that sucks, you devalue the entire franchise. Fear has not done anything to propel the Walking Dead story. It just hasn't. It's like this, okay? Let's say there's 4 of us sitting around and we're bored. And somebody says, hey, we need something to do. Well, hey, we've never dropped bricks on our feet. Okay, well, that sounds fun. No, it's not fun. It's not fun to sit around and drop a brick on your foot just because there's nothing on television. So, Morgan, John, Sherry, maybe if they actually were on the same show, it might get Walking Dead back to its roots. And this goes back to what Deadly Dimes was talking about 30 minutes ago. Could the shows merge? I don't think so. But could a few of the key players end up crossing over? Yes. Take the best of the best. We don't need Jimbo the Beerbo to fly around in a damn hot air balloon. Come on. Come on, guys. We can do better than this. We can do better than making a mockery out of The Walking Dead. We don't need Alicia and Charlie with the water filling up in the basement knowing that they're not going to die. They're just going to survive it. We don't need Logan. And, I mean, come on. What was with all those 5-minute videos that Fear the Walking Dead did that half the stories, we don't even know where they left the stories? Is that not the most choppy? I mean, your idea of a villain was a Sharpie lady. I wish I was making this up, but when I go back through my frustration of Fear the Walking Dead and realize how much it has tarnished The Walking Dead, and I know people say, well, it's a separate show. It is a separate show. But it's dropping a rock on your foot or a brick on your foot because we didn't have anything else to watch. So you get these clips and you're all excited about all these new characters and you realize, like, we don't know who half these people are. And then you get the Sharpie lady, and then you get Jenny, and then you get Jenny killing, I mean, it's just a big mess. And then, all right, I'm going to stop because I'm getting fired up here. But this thing with Grace, 4 episodes. Grace, there's some radiation. There's a story. We got to wash Morgan off. She's going to die. She's got cancer. It's hopeless. Let's go to the mall. There's a Radio Shack. I need to get tested. I'm pregnant. What? Come on. The Grace story. Najee, that's what we need to do in the off season because we don't have Walking Dead? No, we don't. We really don't. Quality over quantity. One good show, build up, and you know what? Greed. They wanted us watching Walking Dead for 50 weeks out of the year. And guys, it's just too much. It's too much. because we're trying to follow our brain just doesn't work like that. Well, let's see. This is in black and white. That's got to be a flashback. I don't know. Madison's at the stadium. When the hell's the world beyond? That's 2 years and 5 years, 4. I don't know. Let's get back to The Walking Dead. All right. They built the bridge. We think that that's 6 months difference between Fear, and now we got to see a... Come on. I'm dying here. She did. Well, I think there was more to it. Certainly, I didn't love Travis, but I did like the first season of Fear the Walking Dead. Ben, Grace, I'm pregnant. Morgan, you're glowing. Grace, thank you. Morgan, no, you're literally glowing from radiation. It's great. That's true. Sad but true. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that super chat. That's one of my favorites. That's why he's the Tin Man, everybody. And look, obviously I have a microphone, so I am swaying opinion to a degree. And I'm not trying to. I'm being, like I said, I'm being half serious. But it's usually why I ask a question before I answer the question, because I'm right there with you guys. I'm on the front lines of The Walking Dead, and I'm saying, hey, give us more, give us more, give us more. Okay, now that I've seen what give us more looks like, I regret it. I don't think we needed more, because there were some good Fear the Walking Dead stories. And I think some of those stories would have been better tie-ins to The Walking Dead. But when you've got 3 franchises going, think about this. Think about the challenges from a writer's perspective. Najee, how can you be creative on 3 different shows without running out of content? So some of those stories that they dabbled in might have been really, really successful if they just had the right people in the right place at the right time. But they didn't. They resorted to 4 episodes of Grace, a Logan story that was terrible, Alicia and Wes painting trees and then painting a barn. I mean, if you guys didn't watch it yourself and you were just tuning in for the first time, you'd be like, what? I'm not watching that. No, it's true. But in some of those episodes, like, hey, I liked a little bit of the West backstory. I thought it had some potential. And then all of a sudden they just killed him. They, not literally, but they just made him, I'm going to paint trees. I'm this bad dude looking for revenge, and now I'm just going to not do that. So I'm just speaking from kind of the bigger picture perspective. Let them wind down. Pick and choose the best of the best. Like other things, I respect everybody's body of work. I respect the actors on Walking Dead. But truth be told, they're not all good. There's some people on the shows, on Fear and The Walking Dead, that are fillers. So why do we necessarily need 3 shows with a whole bunch of fillers when we can have one show with some amazing, amazing stories? Here is the biggest okey doke in the world. Okay? Before last season, what was Morgan's objective for the group in Fear the Walking Dead? You get a gold star if you answer this the right way. Because this is how forgiving we are as Walking Dead fans. Before last season, what was Morgan's objective? Getting them back to Alexandria. And everybody was on board with that. And out of the blue, they decide to just plant their roots, help people, and fly a plane that they knew not how to fly. Crashed said plane, got stuck on the other side of a mountain, and it's just a mess. When all they had to do was go back to Alexandria. Go back to Alexandria, let a few people get eaten along the way, you guys know what? We were talking about how good John Dory would be on. You guys remember that? You guys remember our conversation? Like, you know what? They make it back to Alexandria. Oh, man. Alicia's got some potential. John's got some potential. He might be like a Daryl type of character. Oh, boy, were we wrong. Yeah, it seems so long ago, doesn't it? Doesn't even seem possible anymore. But we were so close. Lost potential. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to balance, my kind of unfiltered sit back and watch and love the show with my commentary about the show, with what I would do if I was calling the shots and running the show. I kind of like to do all three sometimes. And if I think about if me and you and a few other people were sitting in a room and we said, what is best for the Walking Dead franchise? When was it really, really gripping and riveting and good? It's when they had one show. So I think that business side of me thinks that they got in, slammed the door shut, and said, we need to reboot it, we need to redo it this way. Which is why I think they made the 2-year announcement. So they wanted people to know that we're not going to keep doing these things. So, here's my bold prediction for you guys tonight. Fear the Walking Dead does not last more than 2 seasons. That's my bold prediction. I think The Walking Dead, The World Beyond, and Fear the Walking Dead all end around the same time. And they get the best of the best together. 2 of the best actors, Norman and Melissa. Best showrunner, Angela Kang. Bring Matt Negretti. A few of the best writers, producers, showrunners. Get them back together. And build the franchise the way we always enjoyed it. So back to Eric's point. Do we talk about other shows? No, I think we're going to be talking about whatever this show with Daryl and Carol is going to be. And I think it's going to be a glowing, to use Ben's analogy earlier, I think it's going to be a glowing success. And with that, everybody, we are about an hour and 15 minutes. Super long stream tonight. See, we got back into what we do. We break it down, we talk about it, throw some predictions out there, have a good time. We are going to be ramping these streams back up, so we're going to get together a couple times a week and certainly talk about our predictions for the show, our thoughts on what comes next. We're going to build up to our countdown. I see Animal in the house. Do you think Rick Grimes one of the final episodes? I don't. Joe, would it be the most shocking thing in the world if it happened? No, I wouldn't be shocked by it. I just really, and it's not because I said it and I want to be right on it. I just think there's something about when you say Rick Grimes' final episodes, I think he's done. If they did it, I would be as excited as each of you. I'd say, hey, look, I didn't think it was going to happen. It happened. But I'm not speaking on hoping it happens. I'm speaking on how I think it will happen. Certainly doesn't mean I'm right, but just a feeling. I think it's going to play out the way it's going to play out, and Rick is really going to be the movie franchise. So, could we have a movie and a show? Absolutely. All right, everybody. Hey, a little bit over an hour. If you guys had a good time tonight, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Give me a quick 999. I'm going to do a lot of shout-outs for you guys. I know it's been a long time, but you guys can see our green team up there. I thank all of you guys that are channel members. So if you guys want custom emojis, we are going to start doing our Super Fan of the Month. So there is a join button down below. So if you guys would like to join the channel, certainly you have that option. Patreon, there's a link down in the description below. We have Patreon supporters of all different sizes and dollar amounts, and some of our biggest Patreons are actually PDL sponsors. So if you don't know what Play Dead Live is, it is a game that I invented that a lot of these people in chat have mastered and perfected. It is an ever-evolving story, has some undead elements, has some storyline, has some battling, some PvP. So certainly we'd welcome all of our Walking Dead fans to sit in and hang out with us for some Play Dead Live as well. I saw some people said they want some random things. They want some Freestyle Friday. So I'm going to give you guys everything I can give you. I'm not going anywhere. So we're here 4 or 5 nights a week. And as we get closer to Walking Dead season, we're probably going to be streaming 7 days a week. We go pretty hardcore October, November, December. So I'll be right here for each and every one of you. And Najee's like, give me some comic books as well. So currently, this has kind of been Monday nights. We've been doing PvP. Tuesday nights, I've been really catching up, writing the story, modifying, tweaking a few things. We do PvP on Wednesday. We play on Friday night. Pack openings on the weekends. We're fitting some Walking Dead streams in there. So certainly, comic book reads. I can bring the comic book reads back as well. So you guys just don't want me to sleep. I see how it is. All right. Thanks for everything that you guys do. I want to shout out the mods. How about Julia? How about Kel? How about Tin Man? And how about Amy Bones? Appreciate everything that those guys do. Big shout out to our PDL players. And the biggest shout out I'm going to do, as always, is to all of you who are part of the 999 Army. Whether you're a member of Patreon, whether you hang out with us, whatever, everybody's in this chat. Appreciate you guys. And do me a favor. Give me a quick 999. I'm going to call out as many names as I can before we wind down the stream. And then I'm just going to mysteriously disappear until tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Thanks, Football Master. Appreciate you being here. Samantha Coombs, thank you. Melissa Eaglebarger, good seeing you again. Diana C. B-Dub in the house. Matt the Ninja, thanks Matt, good to see you. Maggie B, Deadly Dimes, Hippo in the house, Jan Stepp, Tim Lamora, thank you as well. Appreciate all your support throughout the years. The orangutan, sorry, I love it. Miss the Ninja, Julia, thank you. Heart of Nixie, Najee Watts, thank you. Appreciate your engagement tonight. Always a pleasure to have you in our streams. Eric Beach, same with you as well. Love the thoughts and the ideas. Dark Princess, thank you. Good to see you. Rocket Crockett, appreciate you. Hopefully Rocket Crockett's going to blow some stuff up tomorrow night. Our all-time record leader for most grenades thrown on a Friday night. We got Northside Queen. Thank you, Northside. Good to see you. Father Ron, always a pleasure. Julie J. Thank you, Julie J. And if I missed you in a shout-out for any reason, I will catch you guys next time around. Lynn Nesvik, thank you as well. And thanks for everything you guys do. See you tomorrow night, everybody. Peace.